y'all, this is Halloween, and if you love cemeteries and haunted history, this is the place to be. I'm going to be taking you somewhere new every week. In today's video, we'll be visiting the Clearwater Municipal Cemetery, right around the corner here from me in St. Petersburg. This cemetery was established in 1940. It being a new year, I wanted to incorporate something new, so every now and then I'm going to throw in some haunted history, a creepy tale of the past. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see what you guys think of it. If you like it, I'll keep it part of my channel. Enjoy! We're here at the Clearwater Municipal Cemetery in Clearwater, Florida, established in 1940. Let's go in and see what we can see. This looks like a beautiful cemetery, and it's a gorgeous day here in Clearwater. Lots of older burials here, really nice headstones, so I'm really looking forward to digging in here. A lot of the Coachmans are buried here. So you know Coachman Park, it's an event venue and park in the Clearwater area. Solomon Smith Coachman, the park's namesake, he's actually buried here. So, but also a lot of the Coachman family. So although the cemetery wasn't established until 1940, I'm finding that a lot of the burials here are older, died in the 1800s. So it probably wasn't designated a cemetery until 1940, but there are burials here dating back to the 1800s, which is always cool and interesting. That's where you're going to see a lot of the more ornate headstone designs and a lot of the really unique ones, because back then they weren't as structured, I guess, as they are today. Newer headstones, it's so modernized now that they're still beautiful, but they're just kind of like manufactured looking. So this is really cool. This is a Coachman plot here. Look at this. James Warren and Winifred Coachman. Here he is, Solomon Smith Coachman, over here. Solomon Smith Coachman, here he is. Now this is who Coachman Park is named after. He's one of the founders of Pinellas County, one of the original pioneers of Pinellas. So that's really cool. He died in 1931. This, you can see underneath, has been replaced over time, which is always nice to see. This looks a lot newer. The marble slab on the top, which is called a ledger, it actually looks a lot newer, and below was probably an older one and they had it replaced. This definitely looks like a newer headstone and everything. Now the entrance to the cemetery is here. You'll notice that all the headstones are facing away from the entrance, facing east. The reason why people do this, they bury their loved ones facing east, part of the reason, or one of the reasons, is that in scripture it's said that the second coming of Christ, that when Christ comes again, that he will be coming from the east. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So some folks bury their loved ones so that they are facing a new day. And that's the couple of reasons that they do bury their loved ones facing east. There are some really cool headstones and memorials here. I just love the older ones, so cool. Look at this, that looks almost cryptic. Burial vault looks very old. Now, when this cemetery was first established in 1940, they set aside 1.5 acres of burial land for colored people. So part of this cemetery was a colored cemetery, and no black people were allowed to be buried anywhere else other than that, in that designated 1.5 acre location. I'm not sure which part of the cemetery that is. It just goes to show you how much has changed over the years. You know, back then, I mean, even cemeteries were segregated. We've come a long way. It's kind of pretty there. Now, something else that's interesting, and I'm not sure if it's part of the Clearwater Municipal Cemetery or if it's part of another cemetery, but there was another segregated cemetery here. When I was looking into this cemetery and doing some research, in 1955, the St. Matthew's Baptist Church couldn't afford to pay fees to maintain their colored cemetery. So they ended up selling the land with the burials to 3 business partners that wanted to open up a business in that location. Part of the deal was that they were to excavate the bodies and relocate them. And they didn't do that. They ended up just building on top of the burials. So if you've ever seen the Frank Crum Human Resources office here in Clearwater, that is where this cemetery is. It's underneath that building, and the bodies are still there. And unfortunately, that's happened with a lot of the colored cemeteries. They've been built upon, they've been hidden from view. You've seen in some of my previous videos where I've gone to some colored cemeteries that basically were overgrown and nobody even knew they were there. They stumbled upon a tombstone maybe here or there, and it took a group of community volunteers to uncover these graves and once again make it a cemetery. So I'm gonna head over to the other side. I don't know what it is about these peach colored marble headstones, but I think they are so beautiful. It's just something different than your usual gray, you know. I love it. I'm now on the other side of the cemetery. You can pretty much see it all if you look both ways. So it's not a huge cemetery, but it's really cool. So, and it's beautiful. It's maintained properly, and this is interesting. Look at this brick burial vault. That's really cool. This is the great thing about these cemeteries, is you're always going to see something different, something new. Wow, that's nice bricklaying work. Again, in the Pinellas area, I've seen a lot of Dixon in this area. So Dixon family is kind of spread all over Pinellas. But that's one of the main names that I always see when I'm in Pinellas is Dixon. Along with Coachman, you know, all of the street names, McMullins, and they're kind of usually spread out too. Yeah. So if you're a Dixon, you may have family here. I have to learn more about the Dixon family. There's a guy named Arson. I wonder if he liked fire. Arson Smith. It says God's finger touched him and he slept. This one. William Marvin Smith. Thy trails ended. Thy rest won. crazy. I just jumped out of the shower and did what? I just let it dry on its own, and it's like curly, but sometimes it looks like feathers, you know, thin. Anyway, I think most of the older headstones are on the other side, so I'm gonna go and grab a few more shots over there. It's still a really pretty cemetery, and it's a perfect day to take a walk through here because it's cool and breezy. You can see how breezy it is. I'm so fortunate to live in Florida because the weather is, you know, some people are having a lot of snow and stuff like that right now, so this is my kind of weather. If it's cold outside, I'm hibernating. I just saw this huge pile of doggy doo. If you're out walking your dogs in the cemetery, it's a beautiful place to do something like that, to take a walk, to walk your dogs, pick up your animals' stuff. This is a place of honor and rest. Don't be stupid, you know? Pick up after your dogs. People are walking around here, visiting loved ones that have passed. They don't want to see that or step in that by accident. It's going to ruin their whole time here. So be respectful. If you wonder about what kind of etiquette you should assume when you're visiting cemeteries, look online. There's a whole list of things, what to do and what not to do if you're totally clueless and you don't know how to behave in a cemetery. That kind of stuff just gets my goat. That's my rant about that. Alright, we're wrapping it up here at the Clearwater Municipal Cemetery. I just wanted to say, for those of you who like coming in the evenings, visiting the cemeteries in the evening time, this would probably be a good one to come and visit at sundown or in the evening. As you can see, there's no fence surrounding the cemetery, so it's probably one of those that's open 24 hours. Just be mindful and respectful. Don't come in here with Ouija boards and be acting a fool. Come in here, pay respects, you know, visit at a time of the day when it's not so hot. And yeah, you could probably do that here, I would imagine. So anyway, I'm getting hungry. Let's go get a bite to eat. We're here in Clearwater at Cristiano's Pizza. Gonna go in and get a bite to eat. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below if you have any ideas for me. If you want me to visit any places around Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Fort Myers, wherever you want me to go. If you have any good ideas, let me know down below. That does it for today's episode. I'll see you next time.